What up, y'all? It is your boy Kev on stage. I have now seen Sinners. I saw it last night with my family. We talked about it at length. Now I would like to talk about it with people who've seen it. If you haven't seen it, get out this video. Spoilers ahead. Spoiler. Okay. If you haven't seen it, go see it and come back and watch this. You're gonna miss the live, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want you to be in here not having seen it and you mad with me. So first I would say I was very frustrated that I couldn't see the movie on Thursday or Friday or early Saturday. And stuff started to get spoiled to me because I was on Twitter. I couldn't see it till Monday night because I was working and I was just tired. I'm not at the age anymore where I can go see movies at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. And that was the only time that was available with seats on Thursday or Friday. Was at WrestleMania. We was at my friend Tav's party. We was doing stuff. And with each passing day, more and more stuff leaked, but luckily it wasn't completely ruined. So I got some notes, not notes like for the movie, but just some things I want to talk about. So first of all, and you're more than welcome to jump in as I talk. You might want to, I might highlight your comment. But first I want to say, shout out to Ryan Coogler and the entire team for his fifth movie, an original IP that he wrote and directed, negotiated a very favorable deal in Hollywood that the rights revert back after 25 years. He gets a percentage of the box office gross, not profit, which can be gamed. Getting the rights back is amazing. Get a movie you wrote and produced as a Black man is amazing. Getting it in the horror genre is amazing. I thought the movie was brilliantly written and brilliantly set, right? There's no real new movie ideas. Everything has been done in some way, shape, or form. So many films and shows, especially movies, go back to the hero's journey in one way, shape, or form. It's going to follow one of 8 archetypes. You know, the formula's been done before. One of the reasons movies work is because they're formulaic. Certain thing needs to happen by a certain time. Within 15 to 20 minutes, the inciting incident needs to happen. Halfway through the movie, the world needs to turn upside down. Bad guys need to close in towards the end. This is from the book Save the Cat, which identifies a lot of formula in movies. So, you know, it's very rare that you get a formula that's brand new, right? The last one I can think of that formulaically was super different was Memento. And even though that movie's shown backwards, it still has a lot of the same beats, but it doesn't fall neatly into the formula like most movies do. But setting a vampire film as a period piece in the Mississippi Delta with white people being the villain vampire and the legit like correlation to colonization and sucking the blood out of Black people, like brilliant to me on so many different levels. It explored so many different versions of Black or things in Blackness. You have Christianity, you have Southern, you know, I don't know the right term, but like hoodoo rituals, things like that. I don't know the catch-all term for that, but they exist alongside Christianity, but are not exactly Christianity. The word is escaping me, but like, oh God, it's gonna bother me. I can't think of the word, but you know what I'm talking about. Spirituality. Thank you. and not as opposing thing. It wasn't like you Christian or you're spiritual. Like she said, I prayed for you and I worked the roots, right? Which, you know, I haven't seen it, haven't seen many films like that. Yes, African spirituality. I thought such a brilliant setting. When I was in college, my one of the play I did was Macbeth set in the Civil War. And I thought, you know, it was an interesting way to set Macbeth, but I'm not really a Shakespeare person. I am a vampire person. I love vampire flicks and shows. I love the nod to the inviting in, right? Every vampire movie doesn't have the you have to invite them in thing. So I'm glad they brought that back. I think True Blood probably did that best most recently. I haven't seen every vampire movie, but I thought True Blood did such a good job with that. And the Irish vampire Lee was a fantastic villain. He was super believable in every facet of what he did. So kudos to old school vampire, inviting in garlic, silver, and wooden stakes. I mean, that's the formula. I just loved that very simple story, and I don't mean that negatively. Like, I mean, it's such a good job of taking a basic, like, we've got to protect the fort, defend the Alamo. Basically, the black people, the main characters, are essentially defending the Alamo. But because of the relationship between the twins, the Chinese, Mississippi Delta Chinese, which I watched a whole documentary short on YouTube about Mississippi Delta Chinese and how their accents are near identical to everybody else's accents there. To see that shown was brilliant. I'm not well versed in spirituality outside of Christianity, but I feel like Ryan Coogler did a good job exploring a lot of those themes in the writing. So just setting the movie where he set it was just like, boom. I've seen everything Ryan Coogler's done. I'm not gonna hold you. He's one of the reasons, if not the most reason, that I feel like I can't direct a movie, because his preparation and attention to detail, I'd be like, I'm not that kind of guy. I remember I was watching a behind the scenes of Black Panther, and he was talking about the green in the green small little stitching and color splash in one of the costumes and how that represented Nigeria and this and that and all these things. And I was just like, yeah, that's kind of just not me. So I will say easily, this movie was an instant classic to me. Instantly becomes probably one of my top 10 movies. And I will reevaluate its place after I see it a few more times. All my favorite movies I've seen at least 3 times. Right now, my top 5 movies, no particular order: Parasite, Saving Private Ryan, The Dark Knight, Shawshank Redemption, and Memento. And then right outside of that will probably be Inception, Sinners, Forrest Gump. I would think those are probably 8. I don't really know what 9 and 10 are. Maybe The Prestige. I don't know. So anyway, brilliantly written. I want to talk about the casting. Okay. I love. Okay. Obviously, Michael B. Jordan as the twins, casting / acting, I guess. Hold on. I want to make sure I pronounce this actress name correctly, because she's just brilliant.
Wunmi Mosaku.
Wunmi Mosaku. I never said it out loud, and I want to disrespect her. I've seen her before. I believe it was in Lovecraft Country. Her as the love interest. It is so refreshing as a Black person to see a dark-skinned, full-figured Black woman as the love interest, and she's not a fetish and it's not a joke. Black women in all shapes and sizes and colors are fully loved out loud. This wasn't ha-ha, I love her secretly, ha-ha, she's the jokester, ha-ha. No, man, that's his real love interest. She means the world to him. I loved it. And she looked amazing and attractive. And when he took her from, the way he did, I said, okay, Michael B., I fully believed that twin he was up in that woman. And I said, and all right, okay, I said, get one me in there and put that voodoo on, and she put that voodoo on you, and you put that voodoo on her, and it's a different type of voodoo. It doesn't happen in movies that often. Ever. I probably couldn't name 5 where a Black man is in love with a Black woman. She's full figured and it's not a joke. Name me 5 movies that it's happened in. I'm trying to think of another movie that it's happened in off the top of my head. It's not that often, is my point. Michael B. Jordan was great as the twins. Delroy Lindo as the old man. Miles Catton. His mom, Timothy Figueroa, she sings lead for my favorite gospel song of all time, Calling My Name. Their entire family is brilliant. Her sister's an amazing singer. Their son, I believe, the sister's son is MJ on Broadway. Their mom was just won a Grammy with Corey Henry. Anisha Figueroa is an amazing singer. Timothy's an amazing singer. The whole family is brilliant. Miles was on tour with her. He didn't even know how to play the guitar before this movie. He learned. His voice does not go with his age. How the blues get in you like that? How did the blues get into your very soul? Baby, you ain't from this time, which I got to talk about it now. I was trying to save this scene. The scene of this movie, the music scene where Preacher Boy's music tears the veil. I'm getting chills thinking about it. Where it tears the veil and music is pulled from the past to the present, from the future to the present, connected back to Africa. When I tell you, I could have stood up and incinerated. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in a film. As a Black person, I could have cried. As a Black American, I ain't gonna hold you. Maybe this is doing too much. As a Black American, we always get, y'all don't know y'all culture, even from other people across the diaspora. I don't want to start another war, but we always get, y'all don't know y'all history. Y'all don't know what tribe y'all come from. Y'all don't know who y'all don't know. Nothing. You don't know if you're Nigerian, whatever, from Ghana. We get that a lot. And the music connecting back to our roots, I said, yo, I could have cried, because even though we were stolen and placed on stolen land, we found community. And even without being able to go back to where we're originally from, our music, our culture, our bodies, our history, we still find ways to connect to our natural ancestral homeland. And that scene conveyed that in a way that I have never seen in film. I feel like for Black people and for African people, this ain't just for us, but as a Black American, it hit a little different. I had never felt so seen in a scene, no pun intended. It was so beautifully shot. I ain't gonna hold you. This is no hyperbole. I feel like God himself gave Ryan Coogler the vision for that scene. That scene is his scene. That is as much of a directorial stamp as Spike Lee's, dolly shot, double dolly shot, as anything Scorsese has done, as Francis Ford Coppola's Godfather. Sinners is on that level, and that scene pushes it to that level. It should be talked about in film schools. Instant classic, 5 mics. It was beautiful. I was amazed, inspired, jealous of the creative genius. And I mean jealous in the most respectful way that I could be jealous. I said, Ryan, kudos to you. I will probably watch that movie 800 million more times. I know there's stuff I didn't see because I was looking over my wife and being like, did you see that? But that scene will be studied in film. An immediate way that the vampires responded to that was like, oh my God, that's what we want. But that started off with the blues and Miles' voice, who played Preacher Boy. I could not, I can't even compare it to anything else I've seen. You know how rare it is as a person who loves movies as much as I do to see something that's never been done. It wasn't just a oneer. It wasn't just a scene. It wasn't just a cool shot. It wasn't just a jib or a drone or whatever, right? Oneers have been done. Nothing has been executed that well to me, and it's that steeped in blackness. So, but literally, I mean, all the cast, not Michael B. Jordan, won me, Miles, Delroy. Let me pull up the cast. Let me name all these actors. Because Preacher's girlfriend, Jamie Lawson, Omar Benson Miller, who we don't see enough, Haley Steinfeld, okay, Jack O'Connell, he was the main vampire. I mean, perfectly cast. Oh, and Lee Jun Lee, okay, and the Asian dude, her husband, his name is Yao. Brilliant casting. Brilliant casting. No notes. Now let's go acting. Michael B. Jordan, I've been a fan of since The Wire. Whereas Wallace String, he had that innocence in the character Wallace. He had an innocence about him. Part of one of the through lines of The Wire is basically no matter what you do, we're all chess pieces on the board. You might be a pawn, rook, bishop, king, queen. As you get knocked down, you join. Wallace was stuck in a situation where he couldn't move his family out. He's not really meant to be a gang banger, but that's what that city and that area forms you into. But he's not really built like that. And Michael B. Jordan did such a good job of conveying that, right? And because, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen The Wire, he ends up, dying because he's scary, okay? From that to, let me just pull up his career. I'm trying to make sure I respect him. The only thing I feel like I haven't seen Michael B. Jordan was in is Fantastic Four. That might be the only thing. But from The Wire to Black Panther, I think Mercy, Just Mercy, Creed, but Sinners, okay? I just want to say this part. Not only did he play each twin good, the twins were twins, they were brotherly, but they were different, right? There was times, and this is not the acting. Usually when you have an actor play two characters, they split the screen. Fruit Valve Station, thank you. They split the screen and they usually stay on opposite sides of the screen, and they just shoot a plate shot, shoot this actor here, they never cross. They were crossing frame, driving, dapping each other up, hugging. I'm sitting in the film trying not to get lost because I'm like, how the heck did they shoot this? I don't remember twins interacting in that way before. I'm like, what did y'all use? Okay, the brothers were different yet the same. And I mean the same on a brother tip, but Smoke was Smoke. Stack was Stack. They were driven by different things. They had different love interests. And I felt like I get mixed up who was who, but the one who loved Annie loved Annie. The one who loved that white girl whose name is Haley Steinfeld's character, her name was Mary. He loved that white girl. She had a little black in her in real life. Mary, because I never really looked at Haley Steinfeld that way, but was she a quadroon in real life in the movie? Because I said that white girl got a little bit of, let me see your father in real life. Okay, so Stack loved Mary, Smoke loved Annie. Her granddad black. Okay, in real life, she's 1A. Okay, so she got an A black in her. Okay, that's a quadroon in it, or quadroon 1/4. Quad is 4. So that one drop rule still applies. Yeah, quadroon is 1/4. I don't know the term for 1/8. She's a double quadroon. All right. But she was brilliant, right? Michael B. Jordan, man, he leveled up. And I saw this discourse on Twitter that, somebody who I respect was like, people act like actors can't grow the same way athletes can get better. People act like if you're a bad actor, which I never thought Michael B. Jordan was a bad actor. I thought he got a bad rap. I think he's a much better actor than people give him credit for. I have always enjoyed his films. Octoroon, duh. I said double quadroon. But sometimes when he screamed, I didn't really believe him. But as Donnie and Adonis Creed, as Killmonger, fully believed him. But as those two brothers, I said, boy, they're gonna start writing you some checks. Because you are, I low-key forgot at times it's Michael B. Jordan playing both characters. He is Smoke and he is Stack. And both was super believable, right? Now let's talk about, there's so many things I want to say. All right, let's just, I'm going to talk about specific scenes. I loved, as a Black person, I loved that the Irish people, they're led in immediately by the whites. They turn white people first. I thought he was, on fire. Also, I love a good movie that starts you right in the thing. Like after Preacher Boy and his dad church thing, which real quick aside, for Preacher Boy's dad to be like, you leave this church and the devil coming after you, and then to immediately have the night he had, you got to listen to your parents' kids. Because your daddy just told you the devil coming after you. And before the sun set, that doggone devil was on your behind. I said, boy, your daddy done told you. Your daddy done told you. What did he just say? And as a father of teens, luckily they ain't blues musicians, but they are hard-headed. Now, I done told you that the devil's after you, and the devil is a vampire. He literally done scratched your face up. And all you had to do was stay in that church, in that white church. And we wouldn't have invited them in, although the church probably would have invited them in. And I want you to invite Jesus into your heart. We're all sinners. Jesus, he can't come in unless you invite him in. Oh my God, all over the building we're standing. Michael B. Jordan, but Jesus be saving. Jesus be saving. And maybe you need to be baptized in the River Jordan. Okay. Before the sun sets on your soul. Come on. Y'all don't hear me? Huh? Won't you let him in? Won't you open your heart up and let Jesus come in? And he spilled his blood for you. He doesn't want to suck your blood. He spilled his own for you. He already died on the cross. Wooden stake. He knows about it. He got him. He was on a cross of wood for you. My God. Look what Jesus has done for you. We're all sinners in need of his grace. We're all sinners. I'm no better than Preacher Boy, Smoke, or Stack. But before the smoke gets into hell and you stack the sins of your life, Jesus' mother, Mary, was sad when she lost him. Come on. Oh, hey. The end of the movie, they were in that baptismal pool. He baptized Preacher Boy. That vampire man did. Have you been baptized? All over the building we're standing. I want to make a quick aside. This is the first movie. I was going to see Sinners from the moment I saw the trailer. I ain't gonna hold you. I will see anything Ryan Coogler directs. I'll see pretty much anything Michael B. Jordan acting. I was not a fan of Final Four. I did not go see that. I'm sorry, Michael B. Jordan. That's not your fault. But anything they do together, they are undefeated. Fruitvale, Black Panther, Creed, Sinners. Okay. Ryan Coogler talking about IMAX preparations and what millimeters mean, and then going to see the movie in IMAX and watching the aspect ratio change. I can't think of another time in my life that I wanted to purchase a ticket off of something the director talked about that was specifically about the technical aspect of directing. I never knew how IMAX worked. All I knew was their screen was big and their tickets were more expensive. But the way he explained it, I said, I didn't mean it like this, but I was like, that's all IMAX means is thicker film, less pieces, and it go up. I thought IMAX just meant big screen. I didn't know what that meant. I just knew the picture was good. But the way he explained that in layman's terms, and I saw the aspect ratio change of the movie, specific, and how specific it was at times. I thought, not only is this great, and I love that Ryan was super Black and super California accent, Bay Area specific accent. He didn't code switch at all. And that video went as viral. I probably saw that video more than I saw the trailer to Sinners or anything else they did. And I saw a lot of the promo for Sinners. Like I saw with Jordan the Stallion. I saw Mel Mitchell in there. She had the fangs. I saw a lot of Sinners promo. But the most effective thing outside of the trailer, and probably more effective than the trailer, because a trailer's a trailer, was that doggone explanation by Ryan Coogler. I thought that was brilliant. And I'm a film nerd. I'm a nerd in general, but like, I love to see how things are made. If I watch a cool one-shot wonder, I want to see. When I saw 1917, I was like, okay, how'd they make it seem like one shot? Because obviously they didn't shoot this whole movie in one shot. So I love that part. But I love that he talks the way he talks, but he understands the medium of film, and he explained it in such a way that I could understand, and that made me want to see it. Okay, so back to the movie. I love that when the vampires were coming in, or trying to come in, trying to get invited, I love that Annie was like, something's off here. I don't know. But something's weird here. And as a Christian, if you really read the Bible, there's mediums, there's other stuff that we don't really talk about that people practice. We talk about spirits a lot, but we only frame them under the guise of Christianity. I don't believe that's the only way to understand spirits. That's just me, because in the Bible, they was talking about mediums. I think Saul went to see a medium. Prophecy, psychics, depending on how you do it. Listen, Christians, don't get upset with me. I just feel like, as I've aged and done more research, other religions preceded Christianity. So I can't sit here and make and be I can't be cornered into thinking Christianity is the only thing that has ever been, when societies existed long before Christianity, long before the Bible. Cultures and tribes in Africa existed long before the Bible, long before Jesus. You just can't make me believe it. I'm sorry. If you believe it, I understand. I was once like that as well. But I don't understand everything. But I know I've been on my Christian high horse. And I remember somebody checked me. They weren't even talking to me specifically, but they were talking about rituals. Christian was like, rituals are bad. Rituals are bad. And somebody was like, you mean non-Christian rituals? And the person was like, Christianity ain't got no rituals. And he was like, okay, so you drink the blood of Jesus. You break the body. That ain't a ritual. You do that every first Sunday. Getting baptized ain't a ritual. Speaking in tongues and other tongues that only certain people can understand, that don't sound weird. Shouting ain't weird. And I was like, If I can be honest, it's not weird because it was normal to me. But if I had never grown up with Christianity, you explained to me, we're going to break this piece of bread and that symbolizes Jesus' body. We're going to eat that. And then we're going to drink this wine that symbolizes his blood. We're going to drink that. I would be like, okay, so like by definition, I'm not even saying it's wrong or right. I'm just going to say by definition, that is ritual. That is a ritual by definition. Now, it might be a ritual you're okay with, but to argue that it ain't a ritual at all, well, that would just be, it would be not true. I had this question too. I didn't know I thought she was saying hate. She was saying hate. I don't know. She was real close when she was trying to figure out what she was thinking of vampire. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm looking it up. In Southern American folklore, a haint is a type of malevolent spirit or ghost, often described as a restless or mischievous entity. The term is derived from Gullah Geechee culture with the belief that they can cause harm or misfortune. Haints are often described with the color haint blue, a light blue, bluish green hue that is believed to ward off or trick them. They are thought to be unable to cross water. The word haint is also an alternative to spelling haunt, which was historically used in African vernacular to refer to a ghost or in the hoodoo belief, witch-like creature seeking to chase victims to their death by exhaustion. Listen, I love Blackness so much. I love learning about things I didn't know. I learned most of the things I've learned about Blackness, Black culture, Black history post high school. And I don't close the door to things that are not new to me, are not familiar to me. I thought that was so dope that Annie was in there. I don't even know first of all, it's such a smart way to tell the audience what's happening, because she's the only one as a root worker. I'm not sure if that's as disrespectful, but she was kind of like a root worker, spiritual person, hoodoo. I don't know exactly the term, but she was spiritual, otherworldly, outside of Christianity. But she also prayed, which I thought that was so interesting that she said she prayed and she worked at root. I ain't seen it like that. I know I said that before. But it was such a great way to explain it to the audience, because my kids hadn't seen a vampire movie, and I saw it with my kids. And I knew it was rated R, and I wanted to see it with them. And I ain't gonna hold you. Watching movies that have sex scenes with your teenage sons, I know they're aware of sex. Obviously, I'm not an idiot. I'm not that naive. But watching them see what happened, you're just like, it's a little uncomfortable. Now, when Preacher Boy, amen, he's a young man, and he told that girl that he wanted to taste it. She said, hey, let me wash up. I walked over here. He said, let me taste it. I said, now that's a man after my own heart. Come on, let me see what your day tastes like. Got a little lemon pepper on it. A little lemon pepper, got a little twang to you, girl. How far you walked? How far did you walk? Woo! Got a little sriracha on it. That don't make me no never mind. You ain't got to be freshly showered. I'll take that too as well. But everybody like a little seasoning, a little lemon pepper, a little Frank's Red Hot. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to steal with my kids, but I want them to understand how to be great men. Over 80% of women don't climax with just penile P and G. You have to visit with that clitoral hood, that clitoris. Be a man, son. Get down there and do what you got to do. Hey, man. Help her reach the promised land first. I'm not saying I was excited to see it with my sons, but amen. Now I got to just tell them when they go get married, I say, hey, you go watch Sinners again and you go understand what Preacher Boy did. You understand what Preacher Boy did? I'm going to tell them that at the altar. You got to do your Preacher Boy now. Y'all remember? No, we got to talk about it. Thought that scene was great. Thought that was fantastic. What else was great? I loved, so Omar Benson Miller, he plays Cornbread. When he turned into a vampire and he was trying to be let in, and Annie is figuring out that he's a vampire, We're trying to figure out if he's a vampire. She's like, why don't you come in? Why don't you come in right now? And he was like, let me in. And, they're like, you've been going in and out. Why you don't come in? And he told her her fish was stale, using that stale grease. She completely forgot about the vampire-ness of it all, the invitation. That stale grease, she's like, nah, I know you lying. You know I ain't using nothing but fresh grease. And you know I ain't using nothing but fresh grease. She forgot about the whole death, accidental death and dismemberment, everything. Don't talk about that fish. You lying. All right. It was so black. It was so black that I just appreciated the defense of her fried fish. Also wanted to taste that fish. I ain't gonna hold you. I said, man, I ain't never had no juke joint fish. That was just such a black scene. The whole movie was so black, man. The music in that movie. I think Ludwig Göransson was the score. Hans Zimmer was my favorite. He probably still is. He's edging Ludwig, but Ludwig, he is on his P's and MFing Q's. The score was genius. The original music was genius. Miles's voice is crazy. Miles Catton, I think it's Catton. I don't just want to disrespect him, but we're gonna listen to this. We're gonna listen to this together, because we got to. The way Michael B. Jordan's character looked at him when he started singing that song was exactly how I was looking at him. Okay, let's just watch this together as a family, because I don't think this will get a strike on my page, but I want to enjoy this little bit.
Jamie Lawson in the building? Yeah. She plays Pearly. Make some noise. So there's a line in the song that goes, when we get to that part, I need everybody to sing along, all right? She's gonna help us. Yeah. You ready? So I've been wanting to tell you for a long time, it might hurt you, hold on, lose your mind. Well, I was just a boy, about 8 years old. You threw me a Bible on that Mississippi road. See, I love you, Papa, you did all you could do. They say the truth hurts, so I lied to you. Yes, I lied to you. I love the blues. Me, I sing. Well, somebody take me in your arms tonight. All right, come on. Will somebody take me in your arms tonight? Yeah. Somebody take me in your arms tonight. All right, now say it. Hey, say. I hope you can can stand it. Stand it all is what I'm out here doing. You didn't preach at all. See, I'm full of the blues, holy water too. I know the truth hurts, so I lied to you. So preach your, speak your word. I know the truth hurts, so I lied to you. Yes, I lied to you. I'm gonna say it. Well, somebody take me in your arms tonight. All right. Somebody please take me in your arms tonight. Well, somebody take me in your arms tonight. No, somebody take me in your arms tonight. Somebody take me, say in your arms tonight. Yeah, come on, sing out, sing. Somebody take me in your arms tonight. Oh, last time. Say somebody take me in your arms tonight.
That baby was 19 when he shot that movie. The movie shot April to July of last year. He's 20 now. For what reason would you have that voice at 19 years old if it ain't God? For what reason? Outside of the Lord himself gifting you that gift. I'm one of those people who believes God gives everybody gifts, but musicians, the children of musicians, that is a God gift that is nurtured by them, by it's nature, God-given, and then nurtured by singers. The best nepotism you could have. Now, I saw this comment and I got to address it. And I don't even want to get into this. Somebody said, I love Michael B. Jordan, but I can't watch this because I got to skip this demonic movie. Do what's best for you and your family. I'm not encouraging you to do something that doesn't sit well with your spirit. As Black people, I want us to understand that I don't even want to get into it like this, but I'm going to. The version of Christianity we were taught, there was a reason that version of what was taught to us. Part of the reason that Christianity was taught to us the way it was to subjugate us. I know. Christianity, as it were taught to us, was bullied. Well, I mean, not bullied, was used to keep us in our place. Parts were chosen and picked to remind us of our place on earth. There was an agenda there. The religion that we started with was stripped from us. And still, speaking in tongues, just the same way the music connects in that scene, the music connected the past to the future. The parts of shouting and speaking in tongues connects to our religion that precedes Christianity on the great continent of Africa in the same way. I know, y'all. I know you don't want to hear it, but it ain't that different. And a lot of times Christians, let me just say this, and I know it's because it's true. I know it's true because it's been me and it's been my family. We be so afraid of anything that ain't taught to us the right way, but a lot of times we don't have the full picture. A lot of times we grew up with pastors who didn't, and I don't mean like this disrespectfully, this is just factually true. A lot of the pastors, I'll just say in my life, and a lot of people have similar experience, they didn't even go to seminary. They pastored at church because it was their daddy's church. They felt God was called. They didn't train. They didn't learn. They didn't study other religions. You should understand your religion, and you should understand religion. If you understand the difference between Western religion and Eastern religion, how Western religion is about serving one person who's a savior, whether it's God, Muhammad, Prophet Joseph Smith, whoever. Eastern religion, Buddha, Hinduism is often about the collective, the group. I want to be less than. You understand that we are not so unique. I know we were taught we're the right way, everybody else is the wrong way. That never sat well with me, even as a kid. You can't tell me. I remember when I was a kid, I was 12 years old, 11, 12 years old, and we're being taught Jesus is the way. He's the only way. Everybody's going to have a chance to know Jesus. If you say Jesus and you don't say Jesus, you're going to hell. And I remember asking somebody in my church, what if a Hindu person or a kid who's born in China is being taught the exact same thing? How can he be taught that he's wrong? If everybody that he grew up with is Buddhist, and they tell him that everything outside of Buddhism is wrong, and one day everybody's going to become a Buddhist, and if they don't, they're going to hell, whatever hell is for Buddhists. And he's just as 10 toes down in Buddhism as I am in Christianity. Who's right? Who's wrong? And they got mad at me and told me if I wanted to go to hell, then they just say that. And I said, that's not, I asked a question about if we're being taught the same thing, how do I know I'm right and he's wrong? If he's being taught the same way with the same fervor. And the internet was the greatest equalizer for me, because I could learn from other pastors and people and other people from other religions. I'm not even saying you should learn other religions so you can forget Christianity. I feel like you should challenge things you love so you can understand them better. That's how I believe. You should not believe in anything that you have not and cannot challenge. Even people in the Bible challenged God. Characters in the Bible challenged God. Why, God? Jesus said, I don't want to do this. Nevertheless, thy will be done. Not my will, but your will. God, if it be your will, let this pass from me. He questioned why. Job questioned why. Plenty of characters question why. Why are we now afraid to question God? If God is all-seeing, all-knowing, omnipresent, omnipotent, you think this is the first time he's had this question? You think this is the first time somebody's had a question of faith? You think just because you ask a question, you don't care and the devil's on you? I feel like you should have more confidence in the Lord and the Bible, the infallible word of God, that you should be able to question things and it not be a sin. I know a lot of times when it comes to Christians, I'll be on the outside of this, but a lot of times I found out that this is just my experience. I'm not putting this on you. What was deemed a sin wasn't a sin. It was just my pastor's way of thinking. We couldn't go to movies and see it in the movie theater because it was a sin. I asked, why is it a sin? I didn't find out until I was much later in life, much older, that my pastor's son was having sex in the movie theaters. Okay, well, that doesn't make it a sin. Going to the movies. He was committing a sin. Me going to watch The Lion King is not a sin. Why can't I watch The Lion King at home on VHS, but I can't go to the movie theaters? Why is that a sin? No good answer. Later on, because your son was having sex in the movie theater. Okay, well, that's not my concern. I'm also 9 years old. There's a question. Lipstick can't possibly be a sin. How? Y'all need to wear floating skirts. They are lifting up the floating skirts and having sex in the Sunday school room. What is the problem? Is it the skirt? Is it the sin? Someone answer me quickly. Skirts are easier to get through than jeans. Quickly. Someone help me understand. We had the convention and everybody's going to the altar because they done had sex during the day at the hotel. Quickly, help me understand. Back to the movie. I don't want to get into this, but I mean, you have to, because the movie covers this. Shout out to Ryan Coogler for a brilliant film. Let's take some questions. What do y'all want to talk about that I might have missed? I'm done with what I wanted to say. It's 49 minutes. I'd love to talk about what y'all talk about. Oh, I just saw this. I missed a comment. Part of the movie that broke my heart. I ain't gonna hold you. I didn't connect that Annie and the twin. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting who's who. Annie and Smoke. I believe it was Smoke. had a baby. When he came back to the grave, I thought it was his dad's grave. I didn't connect it quickly. I was reading about it, and there was a baby bottle. I missed it. Like I told you, I was looking over my wife. That scene at the end where he is dying, and actually before that, when Annie's like, "Don't let me get stuck as a vampire. If you love me, you got to put a wooden stake through my heart." Also, the blood was a lot. It was. No, I didn't see the milk. There was this whole discord about people. I'm not going to put your name up here, but a lot of people thought it was his mom. I didn't think it was his mom. I immediately thought there was some sort of relationship. I didn't know they had a baby. I didn't realize because he just talked about his dad dying. I didn't connect that they had a baby. I didn't see the baby bottle. Again, I was looking at my wife a lot. But the ending when he's dying, and also just the scene of him murdering the Klan was just, I love that as a Black person. But when she's dressed in all white, looking gorgeous, and she got the baby, she's breastfeeding, and he's like passing on, and she's like, "Put that cigarette out and you can hold the baby." When the white dude woke up and he was like, he got one last nigger out. By the way, you dying, you already shot, he offered you a cigarette, you still got enough racism in your body to call him a nigga? That's crazy. Him taking a pause from dying to riddle that white man's body with bullets and then ask for the baby. He said, "Give me this baby." That was so freaking dope. I thought it was so dope when he killed that man. That all his military training, using the sniper rifle, grenades, he did his John Morant. He had the Tommy gun, atomic weapon. He had all that artillery. And also the fact that the Klan was always going to kill him was just infuriated me. And I usually leave movies that are set in this manner much more frustrated because the Black people don't usually get away with anything. The win is much smaller, Rosewood, things like that. But boy, them twins got the better of everybody. They killed all the vampires except Haley Steinfeld, and they killed the Klan. And his death as a release, right? Which is also very common in Black people's history as far as, Black people dying in the Middle Passage on purpose because they would rather be released from life than live in shackles. A lot of slaves committed suicide or died by suicide because they'd rather die than live as slaves. Death as a release instead of death as a punishment was very interesting. As a person who recently lost somebody as well, thinking of death that way is very interesting. That's not really the way I've ever thought about it as a Christian. You just like die and go to heaven, but I don't know. I don't really have a full thought of it, a fully thought out version of this, but I just never thought of death as a release from oppression, pain. And then when Annie died, but she didn't seem to be in pain or in purgatory or in hell. She just seemed to be happy and reunited. It was so interesting. That's why I want to watch the movie again. Because oh Lord, I'm not gonna have this Christianity discourse. Why would saints go see the movie Sinners? Baby girl, baby boy, if you don't want to see it, why would you click on this movie to come? If obviously the people who is on this video already talked about it, if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. And just leave the people alone. Why would Christians? We always got to tell other people what they can and can't do. Just hush. If you don't want to watch it, then don't. And I understand because it was me too. But Lord, you saw this title said, "Let's talk sinners." Maybe you thought we was talking about actual sinners, but you probably know context clues. I'm talking about the doggone vampire movie. If you feel led to not watch it, why you ain't reading your Bible right now? Open up the U version you should be reading. Now, let me tell you, as a person who lost a brother, I didn't even allow myself to feel my feelings all the way because that doggone brother relationship was so well done. And the fact that Smoke was trying to kill his brother and he couldn't, I thought he did. I was like, Lord, I can't do it. I'm so susceptible to brother close relationship movies. And Michael B. Jordan, at that time, I forgot he's playing two different people. These are just twins. The same way the Usos are twins. Lindsay Lohan is twins in The Parent Trap. These are two separate characters. And not being able to lose his, but that movie doesn't even work the same way if they're not twins. Because the line there, without if there ain't no you, there ain't no me, or something like that. I may not have quoted it correctly. Without me, there ain't no you, or something like that. I was taken aback. Okay. Oh, let's talk about this. Okay. What about the Chinese lady letting the vampire in? Everybody's upset with Grace. Okay. Now, I understand your frustration. Obviously, I'm mad at her as well. I feel like she's the in Avengers, it was Guardians of the Galaxy guy. Cannot think of his name. Star Peter. The main Galaxy dude. Without you, there's no me, is what he said. Star-Lord. We almost got Thanos. And Star-Lord can't let it go. As a parent, okay, if a vampire taunts me and says, I'm going to kill your son, logic goes out the window. Okay? I know. I get it. My kids, my wife, maybe even Monty. I might think twice about Monty. But as a parent, you have no reason to believe he's not going to kill your baby. And they spent enough time with the child. And you know, the Asian people who own them shops, all they got is their work and their family. It's just that husband, that wife, and that baby. What parent is just going to be like, nah, you kill my baby. I'm not going to do nothing. Right? Now, if you so bad, Grace, you go out there and get that baby. You inviting them in. Now, as a movie person, you understand they got to have the meeting. There's got to be a face-off. The world's got to flip, so I get it. But I think all I ever ask in a movie, I don't have to agree with the character's decision. I just want to understand it. All I ever ask is that the writer and the director make the character's decisions justifiable. I don't need to agree with them. But if there's no reason for the character to do that, that's when I'm frustrated. If another character was like, I'm gonna save Grace's kids, then I'm like, I'm mad. But if you asking a mother, you telling me a mother's not gonna want to save their child from dying, why wouldn't they? You would think she was weird if she didn't do it. Yes, of course she died and it didn't work out, but you got to do it. Franklin in Snowfall has every reason to let the other guys get Leon. Leon messed up in some way. I can't remember what he did. But Franklin would be fully justified in letting Leon go for business. But he's like, that's my family. I don't care. That's my family. I don't care. That's how the character should work. We shouldn't have to agree. We shouldn't agree with the character all the time. Just like Killmonger and T'Challa, they both had a way they thought that Wakanda should work. Whether you agree with Killmonger or T'Challa, neither of them is really wrong in their vision for what Wakanda should do. T'Challa's like, Wakanda should protect itself and use its resources to protect itself. He's born in Wakanda, raised in Wakanda. It's safer that way. I'm a protector. Killmonger is born in America. He ain't have the best life. One, Wakanda killed his daddy. And two, as a Black American in America, we don't have a lot of resources. Come to find out, these people across the world have these resources. Y'all should be helping Black people across the world. That makes sense. All I want is my character. All I want is the character's choices to make sense. Thanos, I don't agree with killing half the universe, but he's basically a glorified PETA person. I'm do whatever I take. The universe's safety is more important. We're taking too many resources. If I kill half of us, Earth will go on. I don't agree with Thanos, but I understand. That's how I feel about Grace. I don't agree but I understand. Why did Mary turn her back on vampires after she pulled her gun? She doesn't know they're vampires. In this world, nobody knows they're vampires yet. The audience knows they're vampires, but Grace thinks they're just weird white people who I don't really got a feeling on. So if I got a gun, I uppull on you. You not thinking somebody has supernatural powers. We know that because we're watching a vampire movie. We've seen the trailer. But a good story, the character should not know anything they don't know in the moment. She's going out of her way. She's trying to get money. She's trying to put, Stack, I think it's her boyfriend. They're getting paid in plantation nickels. And I even like how both the brothers didn't agree on that. Business, like, you want to start, you got to use plantation nickels and real money. And one's like, no, only real money matters. But like in the Delta at that time, you're going to have to take some plantation money, but that don't work nowhere else. That makes sense. She's trying to help. She's trying to use her whiteness. And most importantly, she doesn't know they have vampire stuff. She pulls the gun on them. She's walking back. Maybe she could have walked with her back, never faced or away from them. I'll give you that. But she don't know if they have guns. She don't know if they're vampires. She just assumes they are weird people. I uppoll. I think I won. So, yeah. Stack and Smoke prequel about what they did in Chicago. Guaranteed hit. Disagree. I disagree that it's a guaranteed hit because it's not. There's going to be no vampires. It's just a gang movie. It's just Al Capone. Although I was think it would be dope, I don't think it's a guaranteed hit. I think their mysterious past helped make this movie interesting, but I don't think their mysterious past in the 7 years in Chicago warrants a sequel. And I don't know that it'll be that interesting. It's Boardwalk Empire. I'd probably watch it. I just don't think it's a guaranteed hit. That's all I'm saying. I think some things are just good to make the thing you're watching good, but I don't think you can explore it much more than that as its own film. I did want to see this, though. What happened to the Native Americans? I for sure thought they were coming back. I like that he included them, and I'm okay with them leaving. Like, those characters, again, we're chasing this vampire. We're going to kill him. You let him in your house. You know what, white lady? You do you. I buy that there's the Native Americans don't chase after him. They don't follow him. I buy they go home and they don't deal with dude no more. I thought they were coming to save the day, but I like that they didn't, because why am I going to chase after him? Now, he probably going to kill you. Yes. He went home to mind their business. 1,000%. Enjoy, love. I try to tell you. But you finna call the Klan on me? You try to shoot me? Go with God, Crispy. Now you're dead. I done try to help you. I know he's in there. Go and be dead. Sun about to go down. Let me get on from around here. I get it. They saw that sun coming. Why? I'm not going to chase after you. Not to help no white person. Mm-mm. They understood what was going on, but I like that they didn't come back. I thought that was so good. So good. What'd you say? Jamming after what? Native Americans said, "Y'all don't want to listen." Go on, I'll be dead. Kev, when are you gonna make a church horror film? I want to see how. I'm not gonna make no church horror film. That's hilarious though. But I do have some ideas that that I've already had in my mind, and Sinners came out. I think it's gonna be easier to be understood. So shout out to Ryan Coogler. Sometimes you do the thing you're supposed to do and you help people you don't even know you're helping. I have a idea that I don't want to get into that's been written for 3 years now. I put it down for a while. I picked it back up anyway. And then Sinners came out, and I think a door's just been open. I ain't gonna hold you. Them Irish boys was killing that. Robin Pickens song. And I know that's probably talking about lynching. I felt sad, but they could sing too, and they hit that Irish. They was here with it. They was sea walking. I said, okay, little Irishes. They hit that Irish. Let me hit some Irish music. Let me get a little Irish music because they was cooking. Let's see. They was in the highty-tighty land, the tighty. Y'all can't see my feet. I'm real cooking real hard. And the highty-tighty, like the hidden sand, the robin picking the land was. Y'all don't see me? Highty-tighty land, represented hand and needed it, hand. Highty-tighty, green and gold. They was nice with the little guitar. Hey, Cornbread? Cornbread had the arms going. Cornbread was. Cornbread was cooking. Boy, y'all don't know about this Irish? With the usher? Irish with the usher? Yeah. With the whip? Yeah. Kill it. All right, we're done with that. I never thought I'd see sea walking. Hold on. Cornbread wants to do his own thing. I never thought I'd see sea walking in a period piece. They was twerking in that scene, y'all. Twerking. Hold on. I was doing a little hotty-toity. Irish twerk. They was twerking. They was doing traditional dancing. When you see how close twerking is to traditional African dances, you see how we're all connecting. Oh, that was so dope, man. I meant to talk about this part. Preacher's boy's guitar, I think it was made out of silver. The fact that after everything he went through, his daddy was like, put that guitar down, son. He got the devil done scratched his face. He almost died. The coochie he ate is now vampire coochie. Okay, he done seen vampires, accidental death, dismemberment, werewolves, everything. And he went back to the church, looked the devil in his eyes, seen somebody catch on fire. And that man still played the guitar. I said, brother, you was born to play music. The guitar did save his life. The guitar saved his life. He literally didn't put it down. And Buddy Guy, the guy who played old, I saw this clip of him. Y'all look at this. Buddy Guy playing the guitar with one hand and he has whiskey in the other hand. Let me show y'all this clip because I just thought it was so dope. Just saw this on TikTok. I'm glad it's on YouTube. Let's see. Tell me this ain't the coolest nigga ever. Come on, man. Come on, man. That is his daughter, Rapper Shauna is her dad. Is his daughter. Yeah, the vampire wanted Sammy's gift. I love that. So I saw a couple theories on this. Did he literally want his gift? Was it like a, white people want to colonize, they want to take from black people? Did he just want to know more? Did he want to unlock his ancestors? What do y'all think? Because I saw a lot of different theories on this. Yeah, the Irish ancestry had a lot of things. They were oppressed until they were able to assimilate into whiteness and join the police and the firemen, and they stopped changing. They stopped having those O and apostrophes. He wanted his gift and his soul. He wanted the gift and the stories. That baby was only like 18. Oh, he would connect back to people, to himself. Yeah, I thought that, but like just through the music, I thought it was to like pierce the veil. He wanted the gift to be able to lure people. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. So literally that's what I thought, because his gift was so good, he was piercing the veil. So yeah. So good. Some music has the ability to be enjoyed. Some music has the ability to be enjoyed by the living and the dead. Sexy Red. Sexy Red. Sexy Red. Same gift as Sammy. No hyperbole. Sexy Red. Preacher Boy Sammy. There's no difference. Oh, they were so mad when they couldn't get Annie. They all turned when Annie was finna die. Boy. The drool, I didn't know what the drool was. What was the drool? I saw that Haley Steinfeld's character, Mary, was drooling. Pearline's song was fire. What was the drool? I didn't get that part. Why was she drooling? I thought that was. Oh, I know about Robert Johnson. I know about Robert Johnson and the blues. Oh, they drool when they're about to attack. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Grace. First of all, a vampire speaking in your native tongue and telling you, "I know how your coochie, how you like your coochie ate." Hey, man, what? What is happening? What? Why would you tell him that in Mandarin? I said, "Hey, come on, man. He was big foul for that. Big foul in Mandarin." I said, "Brother, come on, man. You kind of liked it. All right, y'all. Come on, there's children awake." Remnick had no decorum. Listen, I love this though. Remnick, he got his goal. I need my villains to be on their villain thing. I don't need you to have rules. You got to do whatever it takes to achieve your goal. Good acting is when one character do whatever it takes and they met with another character do whatever it takes, and whoever wins. He killed that Chinese man, and he said, "I know how you like that coochie ate after that long day at that grocery. Oh, I know something about groceries." I said, "Who?" And also, this movie was made in the wintertime because it was night for a long time. I didn't see the post-credit scene. We had already went to Raw, and I knew there might have been one. I thought the scene before was a post-credit scene, but I just said I got to see it the next time because I was too tired. Major theme of that movie, eat that cat. As a coochie connoisseur, I don't mind. More men should talk about eating coochie. You should know how to eat the coochie of your choosing. Okay? You should know how to eat that in coochie. You got more than 80% of women cannot orgasm them from straight penile insertion. They need some sort of clitoral stimulation. More than 80% need clitoral stimulation, some sort. Learn how to eat that cat. Please that woman. Otherwise, somebody else will, and maybe it'll be the rose. Anything else? What y'all want to talk about? I love that we all in here talking about this. Okay, I wanted to talk about this. Dusk Till Dawn and Vampire Ripoff in the Jim Crow era. I'm so glad you said this. There is no movie that is 100% solely original. Okay? It's not a ripoff. Do you think Dusk Till Dawn is the first movie? Dusk Till Dawn is just another movie where they say, okay, we're going to protect this thing, but instead of doing this, the soldier part, instead of the last stand being here, what if they were vampires? That's how movies are made. That's how stories were told. Star Wars ain't nothing but Dune with lightsabers. Okay? There's no original story. The fact that it's a vampire story set in the Mississippi Delta is what makes it an original idea. The Odyssey, after the Odyssey, baby, we ain't that creative as human beings. We making one of 8 different stories with the same archetypes. You not creating a brand new, spanking new movie. All you doing is adjusting and tweaking. Any movie on earth, you could name any movie, and somebody could say, oh, that's this version of that. Star Wars is this version of that. Dune is this version of that. Harry Potter is this version of that. And sometimes they switch genres, right? But the only thing with Dusk Till Dawn is the guys robbed and they get to a house, they got to protect it, and there's vampires. But there's no connection to Black culture. There's no connection to the blues. The change is what makes it unique. There's nothing new under the sun. I think it's a little unfair to reduce that movie to a Dusk Till Dawn ripoff set in Jim Crow. I think it's a little unfair. I think it's a little unfair. I ain't watched Harry Potter yet because I ain't sat down and had 2.5 hours yet. But especially within the movie, The Matrix ain't nothing but Star Wars. Luke and Neo are both reluctant to be the one. The Matrix is Star Wars in a computer. That's all it is. Matrix is not unique. Neo's the one. He's the reluctant to be the one. He's the chosen one. Same theme in Dune. The Lisan al-Gaib, Timothy Chalamet's character. He doesn't want to be the one. He's the reluctant one. Luke Skywalker. He's the chosen one. He's reluctant. He doesn't want to be the one. Tron. There's so many reluctant heroes. This ain't the Matrix Cylinder. It's just that's how it works. What would I have added or taken out of the movie? Absolutely nothing. Which is why I think it's such a good movie. I have no notes. Also, I don't think a movie needs to be perfect. Whatever choice I make, that's that man's vision. I think the movie's perfect. Me, Kevin, the movie's perfect. Hold on. You go first? Yeah, sure. Hold on, what? BJ. I can't get you that one, man. I'm right with you with the handshake you put with this ball, man. And I'm not even saying we should like let Black movies get a pass, but I also don't think we should be unnecessarily hard on them. I think we just treat them fair. I don't think we need to hold them to a higher standard or lower standard. Just treat them fair. Is it a classic? To me, and that's all that really matters. It's a classic to me. It's a classic to me. I'm happy. I enjoyed it. It's top 10 movies for me. I haven't seen a movie. The last movie that instantly became a classic to me was Parasite. Parasite instantly became one of my favorite movies when I saw it. And it had been a long time. I think The Dark Knight was the last movie since then. But Parasite was such a doggone beautiful story and such a twist. And the last part of the movie I didn't see coming at all. I'm gonna give Sinners some bonus points because it explored some things in film that are not often explored: Black culture, hoodoo, voodoo, religion, paranormal, Black horror. Black people don't often get to make horror movies that are not comedic. So exploring some things that are not often explored in a film was interesting to me. Absolutely some social commentary. That's why I think that movie's not the same if they're werewolves or if they're zombies. Or I'm trying to think what else they could be. Ghosts or goblins or demons. Like, they needed to be vampires. Vampires suck. And I don't remember, and I'm not saying I'm right, I'm just saying I don't remember vampires, when they suck your blood, they get your memories and stuff. That could have happened, but I thought specifically to this story, when they kill you and turn you, they suck your blood, they get your memories, and they get your gifts, was such a great connection between colonization, Black culture, sharecrop, and even especially sharecropping versus slavery. I thought that was very important because slavery is one thing, and that's literal colonization, and Black people are not free. But sharecropping, there was this semblance of freedom, but it was actually much more dangerous for Black people because, not that they were safe during slavery, but there was a certain protection of property because you're going to do something for me. You're no longer my property. I'm not gonna protect you. And matter of fact, I'm more vindictive towards you. So one of my papers, the first papers I wrote on college, was on how the nadir postbellum, right after slavery, was one of the most dangerous times for African American people in the South, because slavery as property, because they needed them to work the lands, they were less inclined to kill them. But once they weren't property and they lived their own, there was so much more resentment in poor white people and the creation of the Ku Klux Klan, and whiteness as a separator between, because basically poor whites and poor Blacks, the only difference they had was white skin. And the idea of whiteness was created so that poor whites would not align with poor Blacks and overthrow rich whites. So racism as a tool of capitalism, racism is best used as a tool of capitalism. And poor whites aligning with poor Blacks is much more dangerous than poor whites attacking, hurting, harming poor Blacks. Because if they're killing you, then they're not focused on the fact that the common actual enemy is the rich white people. And you see that playbook ran in America from Black Americans and enslaved Black Americans, the Chinese Exclusion Act in San Francisco, Irish people, because Irish people have white skin, they were more easily able to assimilate, to now they took our jobs. The jobs are shipped overseas, and then the rich white people get you to blame Mexicans and close the border, when in actuality, these jobs were sent to China or wherever, manufacturing jobs, but you blame that Mexican man. And in all these phases, rich white people are the ones that are hiring the cheap labor. Cheap labor was enslaved Africans. It was Chinese labor during the railroad times. It was Irish labor later on in life. Now it's immigrants, migrants from Mexico and Honduras and Guatemala, and on and on and on. That's the same playbook, goes on and on and on, because the poor people can never reach the top. And because they can never reach the top, instead of being mad at the rich people, often they align their values with rich people and vote against their own best interests, as long as I can give you an enemy to point at. If that enemy happens to live across the street from you, you'll never be mad at the plantation I own or me going to the moon. And it works every time. It works every time. It works every time. And I think that's why it was so good that this movie was set when it was set, because it worked like that. That's why the Ku Klux Klan was so dangerous. They never killed poor white people. And I agree. Without the music, the movie's not the same. I love the story. I love the connection to the blues and the music. And they like our blues because they don't have to live them. And if you're afraid to watch this movie, it's a horror, but it ain't that scary. There's a few jump scares. It's much more gory than scary. But I need you to put your big girl panties on or your big boy briefs on and go and watch it. It ain't Paranormal Activity. It ain't Sixth Sense. You can get through it. You'll see a few jump scares, but it ain't scary like that. And there's no demons in it. And vampires are not real. Or are they? I don't know. I hope not. The Conjuring, those are the ones I avoid. But, shoot. Listen, Lakeisha Wright. Girl, you ain't never said no but a word. That's the phrase. They like our rhythm but not our blues. You won't have nightmares. I promise. I don't like scary movies. I don't like horror films. Personally, I avoid almost all of them, but I watch this one. You'll be okay. I saw my 18-year-old, my 16-year-old. You'll be okay. All right, anything else, y'all? I'm finna go. Why smoke ain't make a deal with Stack to help out with the Klan by luring them to the church? I don't know. I don't even know why that. I don't know how you got that. Maybe I'm not being mean. I don't usually go in the movie asking more questions unless it's like a big plot hole for me. I didn't see the post-credit scene. I'm gonna see it when I see it the next time. My family and I were tired. All right. I enjoyed this. God bless y'all. We'll see you next time. God bless you. God keep you. We'll see you at the conference.